My name is Mr. Jordan, and I'm here to talk to you tonight about what's going to be going on in my physical and virtual classroom for the 2020-2021 school year. You can see my courses listed there on the screen, and I'll be talking through those in more detail here in a moment. But I'm glad you guys have stopped in and taken a look. Hopefully you find this informative, and we'll move on to some introductions. So, like I said, my name is Mr. Jordan. I moved here very recently from Southern Illinois. I've been teaching for 10 years. I've taught social studies at the high school level for 10 years. I've also coached for 10 years as well. So you can see my courses that I'm teaching this year listed there: AP US History, World History, and Intro to Economics. That is second semester. I'll have Intro to Economics. I also coach football here at Baraboo High School, and you can see my contact information there down at the bottom. I will highlight that email is my preferred mode of contact. That is usually the most effective and efficient way to reach me. I have my email open quite often, and allows me to respond really from anywhere. And so that is my preferred mode of communication. You can also call the school, but you're more likely to reach me through email. So quickly here, let's go through the schedule. You can see the first day schedule here on the left side. This is just for that first Tuesday, the 1st, September the 1st. You can see classes are about an hour long. We've got 2 homeroom periods set up so that we can go through all the changes that we're working on or going to be implementing here at the high school for the 2020 school year. Then we have Wednesday, our professional development day. You see is a typical shortened Wednesday. And then we've got our new normal daily schedule here on the right. Shows our typical class times, shows the 3 lunch situation. Let me write on here really quick. So if you are in AP History, I've got AP US first block. If you're in my world history class, I'll have you second block. Third block, I don't know what lunch I have yet, but that is my prep period. And then fourth block is another AP US history class. So that is what my schedule looks like. Hopefully that's helpful for you in terms of just kind of knowing where you might be in the day. And then also when my prep hour is, that is helpful as well. So let's jump over to the next slide. If there's anything to take away from this presentation, it is Google Classroom and my use of it. It is very important that you are logged in and checking Google Classroom every day. That should be the norm for both students who are in class physically and students who are virtual. Google Classroom is my hub. It's where I put everything for the courses that I teach. You'll see the daily objectives there. So what we're trying to learn, topics, skills, that sort of thing will be listed. Any work that we're doing, any assignments that we're doing, and you'll notice that my daily posts are lengthy because they include everything that we're going to be doing. So you'll see, you might see a question that's posted, or you might see assignments posted. You can access that from Google Classroom. All sorts of materials that we use, files, readings, assessments, discussions, videos will all be linked there. There will be occasions where I might have to give you something in class for whatever reason, but the overwhelming majority of the time, that work will be on Google Classroom in some form. I have parent contacts on there. In the past, you could link parent emails to Google Classroom. I don't know if that's changed, so I may have to examine that a little bit. But parents, if you need to see what's going on in your student's classroom, you can ask them to pull up Google Classroom on their device. There's an app on cell phones that can be downloaded. There is obviously available on the Chromebook. So there is an app. I would highlight that. There is an app you can download. And then obviously you can check your student's Chromebook and see what is going on in the course. So please utilize that. It is very, very important that is accessed often by students and parents if you so desire. In terms of our virtual situation, I have just a few guidelines here. If you are a virtual student, you will be tuning in during class time. There's a couple things I want you to do, and if for whatever reason you're here in school and you are taking part in a virtual platform of some kind, make sure you do this as well. So we do use Google Meet. That is the application that we run to host our classroom. If you're virtual, I need you to do a couple things. Number one, put in headphones, turn on your webcam, and mute your microphone. Okay, that will allow me to know that you're engaged. Okay, that's the webcam function of it. And then the headphones and the microphone, that will make it so you can hear me through your headphones, and I'm not hearing you or picking up any sound from your end through your microphone. So do those three things, and things should go well. There will be interactive activities throughout the class. You should be able to see my board. You should be able to see everything I'm doing in the class. You should be able to hear me. And there may be some hiccups that we have early on with that, but we will work very hard to get that taken care of and make sure everybody has an equitable education. So please let me know if there's any issues there. But as you can see, that will be an area where we can still do what we need to do in the course, whether you're home or at school. So I want to talk about what we focus on in my social studies courses, whether it be world history or econ or AP. My goal is to teach critical thinking skills, to help students learn how to analyze material, and then to help with writing and literacy skills. So I've got a few talking points there. I won't spend a lot of time on them, but in regard to critical thinking, we live in a world that is very focused on quick information provided by a computer. We hear Google it quite often. And it's my job as a teacher and really as an educator in the social sciences to help students kind of relearn how to think about things, because we can't go around Googling everything that we do. We will lose the ability to think critically, solve problems, that sort of thing. And so we'll be working on that in here. Another key skill that we pick up in history courses or social studies courses is analyzing source material. Similar to the idea of Googling everything, we all know that we have more information at our fingertips than we ever have. We've got smartphones, we've got computers, we've got all sorts of things that allow us to access information quickly and easily. That means that there's going to be more information in front of us, and we have to know how to analyze it, how to interpret it, how to discern what is good information and what is not good information. Okay, and so we work on that a lot in here. You'll hear me say things. You'll hear me reference, we weren't there. I say that a lot in history class. We weren't present at most of the things we study, almost all of them. In fact, for students, probably all of them. And so we have to really think about, how do we know what we know? How do we know that the stories are correct or true? And that's where we get into analyzing source material. Okay, writing and literacy skills. Students have to be able to read material that is sometimes from the past, sometimes from the present, but we have to be able to pick out arguments. We have to be able to pick out claims. We have to be able to pick out important information, evidence, that sort of thing. We also have to know how to create that sort of material. So how do you craft an argument, a claim? You may hear me use the term thesis, especially in AP class. We have to know how to provide evidence for our argument and our claim. And so that's the focus of the class. Again, there's a lot of attention paid to thinking skills. We do write quite a bit in here. Hopefully that doesn't scare you when I say we write quite a bit. I'm really referring to, most of the time it's short answers. We're not writing essays all the time. But we do work on crafting arguments and writing. I do have some resources listed here. I want to talk about these before I get into some AP specific stuff. If you're an AP student, AP Central is very important. I'm not going to talk about that right now. I will cover that in class. But that's your College Board account. If you've accessed that already, that will be where you sign up for your exam and that sort of thing. Resources that are not specific to AP, Khan Academy is a fantastic resource. It has videos, it has articles, it has annotated videos with notes. So you'll see videos that go through and annotate things. They'll write notes next to the lecture, kind of like I'm doing here. Very helpful, very good resource. I highly recommend you check that out. Here's AP, there's world history. There's also an econ section that I don't have linked on there. I do reference it quite a bit, and I do use it quite a bit. So that would be one to get familiar with. As a review, there's a good YouTube production channel called Crash Course. They have all sorts of topics, but I'm going to be referencing U.S. history and world history. I've linked their playlist there, and I do use these as reviews quite often. I don't necessarily show them in class all the time, but you may see them linked on Classroom as a form of review. And then lastly, we've got another AP-specific resource, apushexplained.com. This is a webpage created by a teacher. I believe he's out in California, and I do use his notes a lot of the time. He's provided some very, very good notes that I have integrated into my curriculum over the years, and he also has some great videos. It's a very, very good resource for AP US History students. So next, I'm going to go into some AP-specific material. So if that does not pertain to you, feel free to look at something else. But I do want to introduce just a few AP-specific things before we leave here. So again, AP U.S. History it's a College Board course. It's a national curriculum. I really, really enjoy teaching APUSH, as it's nicknamed. I served as a grader of the AP test this past summer. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a wonderful course. It teaches so many life and skills that apply to all sorts of fields, not just history. It's a phenomenal course. And then on top of that, we get to learn about what's occurred in the U.S. since really since discovery. But excellent course. Again, this is AP specific. If you do choose to take the AP exam, that is currently scheduled for Thursday, May 6th, 2021 at 8 a.m. This, obviously, with the COVID situation, this stuff can change. Right now, the AP is setting this as a firm date. However, we all know that stuff could change. I don't know what the test is going to look like. Last year, the test was reduced down to one essay question. It was one document-based question. This year, I don't think that's going to happen since teachers are supposed to be prepared to teach both virtually and in person. But you will sign up for that. The sign-up needs to be done by the middle of November. We'll talk about that in class, and I'm sure the Student Services Department will talk about that as well. But the test, if it is like the old-fashioned test, you'll have about 50 multiple-choice questions, 3 short answer essays, 1 document-based essay, and 1 long essay to write. So it is a very thorough test. However, we spend all year preparing for it, and I feel like our students should be well prepared by the time that we get through the course. So I cover that more in class, but I do encourage you to take the test if you feel that's something that would apply to you. It does help with college credit, and I can give more details to that either here during questions or in class, or you can find that information on the World Wide Web. So if you have any questions for me, please email me. I have linked my email there down at the bottom. The menu came up there. It's right there. Please email me with questions, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I hope you learned a little bit about what would go on in this classroom, and I look forward to starting the year. Hopefully we can make the best out of a strange situation. So thank you all for joining. I will see you later.